All right, let's take a trip across the cosmos. Let's go back in time. Set your dial for September 27th, 1980. All right, you know we go through these old TV guides. Back in the days of broadcast TV, where you had 3 major channels, plus maybe a few VHF channels, depending on where you lived and your reception. But a lot of high quality shows, a lot of competition. And again, we're not just going through for the sake of looking at a TV guide. We're talking about the shows of the time, the actors of the time, who was popular, who wasn't, which shows have stood the test of time. There's something to see and learn in every one of these. So again, this is September of 1980. So it would have been, hopefully we'll see in this one some of the new shows and maybe some promos for some of the new shows that are just coming on, or the new season. So grab your Seagram 7, take a shot, and let's get into it. And if you have to, grab your rich lights, take a smoke break, hit pause, come back. Is TV stuck on youth? Not as much as it is now. Wow, check out this Kmart ad for some really ugly art. Oh, this is when they used to have those mirrors. Yeah, this was like a trend. It's like mirror art or whatever you want to call it. Super weird. Marlboro Lights. Low tar, I guess is what it means when it's lights. It's weird how they've gotten rid of smoking. Used to have an ashtray everywhere you went. There was an ashtray. Probably go into the daycare and there'd be an ashtray sitting there. All right, we got our Marlboro Lights. We got our Bacardi rum. We're not going to read about PBS's Crime and Punishment adaptation, although it might be good. You know, 1980. Probably pretty high quality. Look how cool this guy is. He's so cool, man. He's got his golden lights. He's smiling. He's got his smoking jacket on, literally. So shows will be ready in a month after strikes. Oh, okay. So that might affect this edition. We'll see. It looks like they're talking about some kind of strike. Maybe a writer's strike or an actor's strike going on. We shall see. We've learned something already. 1980. Dude writing a letter to the TV guide talking about unfairness doctrine. What a moron. Check out these boots. 25 bucks. Texas steer. Even got the steer on the side of the boot. Only thing missing is the little cow saying, "This is made out of my hide." Which it probably wasn't if you're buying it from Kmart. Probably made out of pleather. All right, so this is an Idaho edition. I think I've gone through one of these Idaho ones before, where it also serves Salt Lake. So that's just another snapshot into the times. All right, Saturday morning in 1980. You could watch a cartoon called Hotel Balderdash. Who out there is a Hotel Balderdash fan? Show of hands. And yeah, I've seen this one before. I talked about it. Fred and Barney Meet the Shmoo. You gotta Google these because I do not remember those. And obviously I'm skipping past some of the ones we all remember. Scooby-Doo, Daffy Duck, so I'm not even lingering on those. American Bandstand coming on pretty early, maybe because this is Idaho. But we got Molly Hatchet and Rob Hagel. Molly Hatchet's a little bit hard edge for American Bandstand, so that's pretty cool that they were on there. Two's Company children's show. Wonder what that is. Might have been a yokel thing, or it could have been a national thing. I'm not sure. It's like you could watch the Expos and Phillies. Three Robonic Stooges. I did look that one up. It is what we thought. It's the Three Stooges as robots. It's a cartoon. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Yeah, back then, you probably would not have ESPN. So you'd watch like ABC or someone do these Sports Spectacular, Wild World of Sports, and they'd show a little bit of everything. So on this Sports Spectacular show, they're showing U.S. roller skating championships. What would that even be? Just people riding around in a circle on roller skates? Speedway motorcycle championships. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else. Some boxing. Floyd Patterson. What? Oh. Is Muhammad Ali too old? Okay. All right. Let's see what else is on. We got some $6 Million Man reruns. Steve falls in love with a childhood friend. Oh, that's 2 parts with Jamie Summers. So that would have been a good episode where where Jamie Summers gets her powers. Yeah, that could be a classic episode right there. Just a random rerun in 1980. Piece of history. We got Hee Haw. We all know and love Hee Haw. Solid Gold. Oak Ridge Boys, Stephanie Mills. Pretty good lineup there. Tim Conway's got his own show. He was a talented dude. He could do a bunch of characters and stuff. Don't know if he rates his own show, but that's just my hot take. This great ad here. And this is what brings these to life, because we could see, okay, Centennial, who knows what that is, but this ad here kind of brings it to life. Some little made-for-TV movie based on a James Michener novel. Might actually be pretty good. Dennis Weaver, not a lot of big names going on there. Sometimes there'll be some names, these guest stars will be some people that became big stars later. So that's why I always scan those. Check this out. Black Sunday. A madman, his terrorist lover, an incredible plot to ruin sudden death. Looks like they're going to crash a blimp into the Super Bowl. And they had to do principal special effects back then, so some of the special effects, these movies might seem cheesy, but they have some insane special effects sometimes because they like have to blow up a real blimp. Looks like Love Boat's still on in 80. Stephanie Zimbalist is on. I think she was the Remington Steele lady. Black Sunday, just seeing who's in that. John Frankenheimer. Oh, yeah, that probably is a good movie. Frankenheimer's a pretty insane director. Most of his movies are entertaining. Fantasy Island, you got Dick Butkus on there. He was everywhere in the late 70s, early 80s. I think he was on My Two Dads. He was on tons of stuff. There's that Linda Carter variety show. We saw that in another one that I went through. Unfortunately, there's no ads for it, but Yeah, Wonder Woman had her own variety show where she would sing and stuff, which is kind of crazy. Hands stay warm at 30 below zero. It's getting cold where I am, so I could use some of those. Check this out. Some show coming on at 1 a.m. on Saturday night called America's Top 10. And you know, in the late 70s, early 80s, you got Air Supply, you got the Cars, Herman's Hermits, Grateful Dead. Probably tons of good music on there. All right, so since this is the Salt Lake City edition, we probably got the Mormon Tabernacle Choir somewhere on and Sunday morning. We got that show called Kids Are People Too. Jerry Falwell. Some show called Let's Face It. 6 ballot issues that Utah voters decide in the 4 general election. Now you pass a ballot initiative, all the people want it, and they just don't do it anyway. Probably the same back then, who knows? Look at this great ad for chips. Yeah, so it looks like this is a new episode. James Coburn's on the Muppet Show. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Muppet Show, Hee Haw, great stuff. Wonder Woman. So many great shows. You just took it all for granted back then. A Rage Against Fate. So Sunday night would definitely be that Wild World of Disney or Disney's Wonderful World or whatever. Looks like this one they're going to show the Shaggy Dog movie. Those Amazing Animals. I don't think I ever watched that show. Sounds kind of wacky and weird. They got singing hounds. They got a kangaroo the size of a kidney bean. And they got a dog that eats mirrors. Maybe the dog will eat that weird mirror art thing that we saw earlier, since those are so ugly anyway. Here we go. This is some great ads. Yeah, this is what brings it to life. Archie Bunker's Place. I think that was the continuation of All in the Family. One Day at a Time was big. Valerie Bertinelli, I think, was on that. Alice was a fun show if you haven't seen it, especially if Jerry Reed's going to be on there. And then looks like Gary Coleman's going to be on the Jeffersons. That sounds fun. I bet the interplay between those two was fun. Upstairs, Downstairs. I think that was that British show. Check this out. Marilyn Monroe. A 1980 made-for-TV movie about Marilyn, starring Catherine Hicks. And some dudes. Catherine Hicks and 3 dudes. Looks pretty good. Up close. Oh, that's that Cosmos. I guess Cosmos was a new series in 80. I think it was a pretty highly respected show. I never watched it. I think they even tried to remake it recently, and of course it was terrible. This looks fun. Some kind of movie, maybe. The Boys from Brazil. Is that the name of it? Laurence Olivier. It's a great ad, though. There's Cosmos again. The David Susskind Show. This looks super interesting, doesn't it? Watch these old dudes eat some food. Might have been a yokel show, may not have been like a national show, but I don't know for sure. I just know it was unwatchable regardless. What's going on here? This movie. Some movie, comedy movie coming on late at night. It says it's an 1980 movie though, about stolen Soviet secrets. With Jeff Conway, Adrian Zmed, Don Rickles. That sounds hilarious. Pat Morita, Barbie Benton. I mean, this sounds great. I guess it's called For the Love of It. Madcap Search. That's all the clues we have. Sounds fun though. A great cast, if nothing else. Carlton Cigarettes. Stay up at 1 a.m. You can watch Get Smart reruns. And not much else, so that would be at least something pretty good to watch. Alright, Monday morning. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I think this is when David Letterman had some kind of daytime talk show, and it got canceled pretty quickly. So I think he started off as like a weatherman, and then they gave him some yokel talk show. So this is not the late night one that we are familiar with. This comes on at 9 a.m. Not many cartoons on in Idaho or Salt Lake. I guess you just had to get up, watch Captain Kangaroo, and go to school. Yeah, during the day, we know that, you got your soap operas, you got your talk shows. Not too much to really linger on during the week. Usually the nighttime stuff is kind of fun. Little House might be like a season premiere of that. That's when Laura grew up and got married. Yeah, here we go. Laura and Almanzo's wedding. Will it happen? Yeah, she kind of became the showrunner the last couple seasons, and Michael Landon was not on it as much. This is a great ad here. Ricky Tikki Tavi. Oh, The Jungle Book. And Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat. I bet that was good in 1980. 2 CBS special presentations. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Looks like they're both older though. Looks like this is from 75 and this is from 57 according to these copyrights. You can watch PM Magazine Utah, talking about a Florida water skiing family. It wasn't all gems back then. Look how young Carson looks. He wasn't that young in 1980 though. Yeah, that's 1962 picture. So here's a great ad for the Monday night on CBS, MASH, WKRP. We know it, we love it, and Lou Grant. The girl looks kind of familiar. I don't see if they say who the guest star is or anything though. Orson Welles narrates that Jungle Book cartoon thing. So we have Monday Night Football back in the 80s. Okay, so this is some kind of Johnny Carson special, 18th anniversary of The Tonight Show. That was probably fun because they probably showed a lot of good skits, and then they got Lonnie, Rodney Dangerfield, Barry Manilow, Bette Midler, Don Rickles. Just get past this ad here. Tinker Sailor Soldier Spy. That was a seriously gaslighting movie. It was like gaslighting the audience. Who spies on the spies? Yeah, I think Lou Grant was a pretty popular show. Or you could watch Gertie Stein is Back, Back, Back. Yeah, with the lack of ads, I'm guessing maybe something with that strike they mentioned earlier. Maybe there wasn't all the new shows on yet, even though this is late September. Cal Hunter's going to bring you all the news that's fit to print. Arthur Miller play, that's probably good. Arthur Miller is incredible, probably one of the best American writers. So his plays are almost all excellent. Not just Death of a Salesman, he wrote a lot of other good stuff. What is this? Some Gary Coleman world premiere movie. Looks like they got a bunch of people in it. They got the dude from MASH. Just trying to see who else. Oh, Catherine Hellman and some other dude. Yeah, that's a great ad there. Vanessa Redgrave. Don't recognize any of the other names. Look at this. ABC's crushing it on Tuesday nights. Forget the competition. We're watching Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Three's Company, with Suzanne Stummer still on there, Taxi, and Heart to Heart. Heart to Heart was kind of a fun show. A little bit goofy, a little bit campy, but fun. Check out this. Steve Martin's got a special. He was huge at that time. Just seeing who else is on it. Robert Klein. Not a lot of names. Looks like he wants to be the big star of the show. He didn't want to invite a bunch of other funny people on there to upstage him. George Carlin in his autobiography talks about what phonies a lot of these guys are. He specifically called out Martin Short, Steve Martin, and the guy who runs Saturday Night Live, Lorne Michaels. He specifically called out those three guys. I trust George Carlin because he was always a truth teller. Body in question. This dude's bringing you the news or the weather in Boise. He's got a mustache, you know you can trust him. Yeah, t-shirts were big with like one picture on it. Were really big in the 70s and early 80s. Keep on trucking and all those kind of things. All right, let's see what's going on Wednesday in 1980. Look how great this is. I've seen this movie because it has Mark Hamill in it. It's pretty horrible and unwatchable, but it's kind of one of the main things that Mark Hamill did other than Star Wars. It's called Corvette Summer. I don't remember the plot. I just remember it being pretty awful. Check out this Charlie's Angels ad. That's great. I think that's Jacqueline Smith there. Eyes of Laura Mars. That's a pretty cool ad there. Tommy Lee Jones. Raul Julia. That's a great cast. Let's see if we can find that Corvette Summer and see who else was in it. Coming on at 7. Annie Potts was in it. Oh, wow. I do not remember Annie Potts. See, now I feel like I need to go back and find some clips from it or something. Because she would have been super young in 1980. Don't recognize any of the other names. Yeah, I think the whole plot was like he was souping up his Corvette. So it was like, wasn't that great of a car, and then all through the movie he like soups it up or something. I don't know. Why do I remember these things? I mean, it's Luke Skywalker, right? You gotta at least give it a try. Nuclear Nightmares. I mean, how far have we gone since then? Now we just all accept our fate. This looks interesting. A lot of big names in this. I don't know if it's a movie. Yeah, Wednesday night at the movies on CBS. Something called Fugitive Family. With one female and a bunch of dudes. There's Eli Wallach from Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I remember seeing this in another TV guide. This Vegas show has got Robert Urich. Sounds pretty good. I think it just didn't catch on, but it was probably a pretty solid show. So the Nuclear Nightmares are outlining 4 doomsday scenarios. Yeah, the Fugitive Family, it's got a bunch of people in it. Let's see who else might be in it that we recognize. Ronnie Cox. Check out these posters. Some funny shows here. Herbie Mann at Snowbird, some kind of jazz flautist in Utah. And then you got some show called Government as It Is. Government as It Isn't. But we're getting a Victoria Principal poster, right? I mean, we're not watching Government as It Is. We're cutting this coupon out. We're saying Simile Victoria or Bo Derek or, you know, all these big names. Lonnie Anderson. I don't know why you'd want a poster of J.R. Ewing, but hey. All right, I think this is Friday, or is this Thursday? Okay, we're in Thursday. A few good, fun ads here. Some interesting stuff going on. This looks funny. So in the late 70s, early 80s, like trucking and driving, like the Smokey and the Bandit, the Cannonball Run, the trucker movies. This looks like it's kind of in that vein. The Great American Traffic Jam. Desi Arnaz Jr. Not a Vic Tayback. Abe Vigoda. I don't know about these stars here. I mean, if they want people to tune in, they should have thrown a cup. Lisa Hartman, there you go. I think she was on one of those soap operas. Look at this great ad here for the guy from Welcome Back, Kotter. Looks like he's got his own movie. I like the artwork here. Gabe Kaplan's romancing 3 women. I wonder if he like wrote that movie or something, because that sounds like something he would want to write for himself. This Old House was on back in the 80s. I did not know when that exactly premiered, so that's interesting. Had to be one of the first seasons. Fast Break. New Yorker leaves a clerical job. Not a lot of big names in it that I recognize. Catastrophe, No Safe Place. So instead of trying to scare the crap out of the American public like they still do now, they got the nukes, they got the Catastrophe show. That's what media's for, ain't it? That's a great Tom and Jerry ad. Check out Paul Newman here. Wonder what this movie is. Hopefully we'll see later. It's got Paul Newman and Henry Fonda in it, which I do not remember. Maybe it's called Never Give an Inch. I do like the dress code of the, you know, late 70s, early 80s. It's something nice about the fashion aesthetic at that time. How great is this ad? Barbara, as good as it gets. One of the best singers ever. Robert Redford, one of the best leading men. Stole all the women's hearts. This would have been a movie from like the late 60s, I think. Probably just showing it on TV here. All right, this is Friday evening, I guess. So what were we going to look for there? That Paul Newman movie. It says it's 7 o'clock. What is that? I guess it's called Never Give an Inch. I don't know. Maybe it's good. Oh, Labor Strike. Okay. Yeah, that might be a pretty good movie then. Something with some actual class consciousness. R.I.P. class consciousness. Looks like Friday night's pretty strong. You got Incredible Hulk, you got Benson. I mean, you got all kinds of good stuff going up against each other too. So it'd be tough to decide what to watch. Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, Friday night was where it was at. Dallas, if you like those nighttime soaps. We got our crossword puzzle. Hit pause, print it out, work it. It's not that hard. Yeah, Blank Van Patten would be Dick Van Patten. There's that Cosmos. They're going into detail on that. Yeah, this would have been pretty groundbreaking to see this when it first came out, probably. This guy's showing us which cigarettes to smoke. She's the one that's playing Marilyn. Reach out and touch someone. There were so many good jingles back then with the commercials. So many good jingles. Some more smokes. Conversation stoppers. There's like some one-liners here that we could memorize and tell. Check this Kmart ad out. $8. Guess you could get some pants or a sweater for $8 a piece. All right, this has been September of 1980. See you all in the next episode.